Everybody, so we got the new update out for Overwatch, and in the new update, they removed Gauntlet. For some reason, it's gone. They said the dev said it wasn't successful, and I get anybody who's in the comments that are just gonna go regurgitate what they just said. Just save your energy. Actually, you can type it in there because that'll help with my engagement for the video. But honestly, it's just like repeating anything like a 5-year-old could listen to what they said and then just regurgitated it. That's great. But the reason it probably wasn't successful is because they role locked us for some reason. Like you only could be a healer, a support. In case there's little tough people out there listening, want to correct me on that. Yeah, please give me the engagement. Um, Damage heroes and tanks. You were locked for each role. Like only one could be in each role. They shouldn't have role locked. That would have a lot more people still would have been playing, but maybe not enough to keep it. But it definitely feels like every time there's a PVE esque style mode, they have to get rid of it as soon as possible. Um, if it's not like super successful, which they can't expect it to be because you promised us something when we first got it. First, wanted to play Overwatch 2, didn't deliver on it when you released Overwatch 2, and now that you're kind of trying to sprinkle it in to see if we want to do it still, it's kind of like we don't trust you. So don't get my hopes up. It's kind of like how people react to like half of the PVS style stuff y'all give us, which is why the missions that are currently still a category here, but I'm sure aren't as popular. Um, yeah, it's not as successful, and y'all haven't given us any more chapters for it. And y'all, I think y'all said y'all weren't even gonna give us any, which is it's just still weird. Just running from PVE as hard as you can. Um, but then again, that was under a different presidency. I think he wanted to kind of do away with PVE and do more esports and stuff like that. But anyway, it wasn't hurting. If people are worried like it was gonna hurt like queue times for like quick play and competitive, it definitely wasn't. 100 people, or maybe a total of 300 people playing Gauntlet a day, was not affecting queue times for quick player ranked. If anything, they probably played it before, hit Gauntlet before, and then went into ranked and unranked just to get some training done. Or they just stayed in Gauntlet just because. They just wanted to do the PvE experience and not have to worry about dealing with other people, which I totally understand. But the role locking wasn't necessary, and playing with the bots and not allowing us to get like XP at all for like our heroes or just our accounts was not a good idea either. They dropped the ball on that one too. Not as in like they did a terrible job, which they could have done better by not doing that, by not limiting the XP you can gain and stuff like that. Anyway, little stuff like that allows people to kind of just chill when they get on the game, to not have to bend over backwards to try to be good for like 5 minutes, um, and compete like the whole world's gonna fall apart if you don't compete well, because teammates are gonna start screaming and ranting and running and jogging in place like little kids. Um, but I really like this update though. This like Power Ranger esque update. I love that. That's really cool. Um, but the issue that I'm having though is not being able to adjust my crosshair for characters. Like it's gone. Like I don't have the option to, unless it moves somewhere else, like to accessibility, which would be very strange. Um, I'd really like to return the like screen shake to like none at all. Because I don't like when Zenyatta's HUD shakes and these attacks. Um, but I don't see it here. I don't see like crosshair because it's usually in general right under like wireless controller, and right above movement, but it's just not there. But yeah, I guess that's my rant for today for Blizzard. But I guess y'all needed to make that decision because PVE it seems like I just can't have it. I get people are gonna be like, well, no, it's just because it wasn't successful. You can still leave it there. It's not hurting the servers. They can afford to have Gauntlet mode open. If 300 people at the most are gonna play that game a day, a game mode a day, they're not hurting anybody. I promise they're not. Their servers are not draining Overwatch 2's capability of sustaining itself when people play quick play and other game modes. I promise you it's not. It's not hurting that bad as you think it is. Um, but they could have kept it. It wasn't that big a deal to kind of like let it go. Um, but it's more or less like a business type of thing. They're like, if it's not successful, we gotta kind of let it go. Just we tried to do something new, but it didn't work out, so we'll just cut its wings. And it's like you don't have to do that because we have we have enough money for them to just kind of like do that, just have that there. The servers be there for that a little bit too. Um, Even if they don't even have separate servers for the Gauntlet mode, if it's just like kind of included with all the other servers, it's not even that serious. Um, but I guess maybe I don't know how much influence we have as like consumers. But maybe if you can get like some famous streamers and stuff to kind of like feel that way as well about like modes like Gauntlet and PvE modes, and kind of like really harp on it enough that their whole entire channel is kind of like, we need PvE, we need PvE, like we're like shouting it every time any Blizzard employee goes to watch somebody streaming Overwatch 2. There's like a whole lobby of people chanting, "We need PVE," or the whole comment section just saying, "We need PVE." You might actually get somewhere with it, and the company might have to listen to its consumers, because they usually listen to the pros anyway when they make changes. Um, there's some money to be made in that, and sponsorships to be had. So, as there's, I'm gonna step off my soapbox for today, but the update is really cool. I like the little the Power Ranger stuff. It's great, and they brought Pink Mercy back. That's awesome. But gonna miss a potential PVE mode that could have been a little greater if they just put a little more work into it, um, or a little more resources into it, and let the people who actually made that game be great. That game mode be great. If they just didn't limit them, they pretty sure they would have gave us that kind of stuff that we wanted in the PVE that we only got in Gauntlet mode. Um, because we don't have an actual PVE game mode except for the missions one, which they don't update. But they would have updated Gauntlet if it had been more successful, which it could have been if they just would have let them be great, the people who designed it. But anyway, have a good one. See y'all next time. Thanks for watching.